welcome back to my channel. Happy Saturday and happy first day of summer. Woo! So today's video we're going to be talking about my favorite eyeshadow palettes for summer. Since it is the first day of summer, I thought it was appropriate to talk about my favorite colorful shadows that I love to use during the summer. If you are new here, hi, my name's Corinne. I would love it if you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my videos, and let's get started. First few palettes I want to talk about are ones that aren't available to purchase anymore, but they're palettes that you guys might already have in your collection, so I figured I might as well still talk about them. First of those palettes is the Huda Beauty Electric Obsessions palette. This is part of their 9-pan Obsessions palette collection. There are a bunch of these. This is the super bright one, and this is the only Obsessions palette I have actually, and this is perfect for summer. It's super colorful. You can't get super complete looks with this. There are 6 mattes, so the super bright colors are all the mattes, and then you've got 3 shimmers, this one, and this one. They're really nice shades. They are pretty pigmented for neon shades. Here are 4 of the shades. Those are 4 of the matte shades. They swatch decent, and I like how they look on the eye. The yellow one is a little bit crumbly, same with the blue one. Here's how they swatch. See, that blue one's just a little bit patchy in the swatch, but the shimmers I love in here. You can just throw these all over the lid, and they just all look so pretty. Ugh, that blue, so good. There are the shimmers at the bottom. They're so pretty. The camera does not do it justice. They're so easy to apply to the eyelid, but this is a perfect one for summer, especially if you're going on some weekend trip. That's a really nice one for summer because it includes all the bright shades that you will need, and it is small and compact, so it is perfect to take on your trips. So the next palette is actually one of my first ever eyeshadow palettes that I purchased for myself, and this is from Colourpop, and this is the Yes Please palette, and this palette is so gross. You can see the white packaging has so much crap on it, but it shows that I used it. The inside doesn't really look too used, but it's still a mess. But this is the perfect warm tone palette for summer. It is the perfect sunset palette that you would need to create those sunset looks. I love Colourpop shadows. For the price, I mean, you can't really beat these like at all. It has a really nice formula. You can see those 4 at the bottom are from this palette, and I mean, I think these are $18. That might be wrong, but I will check. But I did get this like a couple of years ago, I think. And I don't really use warm tones as much on my eyes, but if I were to want a sunset eye look, I would definitely go for this palette. It's definitely the perfect one for that. I will be using this a lot more during the summer. I haven't picked this up in a long time, so I'm definitely gonna continue to use this summer. The third palette I have that is not available anymore is the first palette from Alamar Cosmetics, and this is actually in a, this was in a BoxyCharm, so I would assume that a lot of people have this. This is the Reina del Caribe palette. This is the volume 1, and here is the inside. It is so gorgeous. And I mean, just look at that, the La Costa shade at the top. I mean, look at that. It's beautiful. You can use that as an eyeshadow or a highlight, and I mean, that in your inner corner is amazing. So I love this palette for summer. I mean, the packaging and the inside is just giving all tropical vibes, so that's perfect for summer. This is another one that's really nice to take on a trip because it is really compact. This is the Tarte Make Believe in Yourself palette. This packaging is gorgeous. I love this palette. Love this palette. When this first came out, I knew I really wanted it. And this was, I think, a festival palette. I think that's when this came out, like during festival season that year. And here is the inside. I mean, you can see why it was for festival season. It has so many beautiful shimmers. It only has the one matte shade down here. I think it goes really nicely with all of the other shimmers. Middle shade is more of a highlight shade, or you can use this all over the lid, and it's kind of like, it has a peachy reflect. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but It has a beautiful reflect, so if you put it all over your lid, it looks so beautiful. When the sun hits it, it just brings out that reflect. And all of the other shades are gorgeous all over the lid. I love the blues and purples in here. Those are right here. I mean, look how pretty. They're the lighter tones, so I think it's really nice for summer and spring. This is a really nice spring palette as well. And those are those 3 shimmers. These, I love this. It's so easy. You just use that one crease shade and then throw on any of the shimmers, sweep it over the lid, and... So the next palette is actually one of my favorite palettes, and this is an all matte palette. This is from Too Faced. This is the Just Peachy Mattes. It is peach scented, which I like. And here is the palette. I think this palette is gorgeous. I love these tones. I don't use pink tones too much on my eyes, but I am today for this video. So I really like that this palette has not only all the pink and corally tones, but it has a lot of those neutral shades that you love using. So you can do so many different looks with this. You can use this alone and do an all matte look, or you can just use this in your crease and outer corners and then throw on a shimmer shade and you're good to go. I picked this because I like using these tones for the summer. I think pinks and peaches are really, really nice in the summer. It looks nice on tan skin, so when I get tan, I like using the pinks and peaches. I think it looks really, really nice, so that's why I included this one. The next palette is my most recent palette, and that is the ElfxJKissa To The Rescue palette. I did a video on this where I did a look, so I will leave that down below so you can check it out. I picked this because it is the most perfect rainbow palette, and I mean, what else screams summer than a rainbow? So I definitely wanted to include this. I can't wait to use this more. I definitely plan on doing some type of rainbow look with all of the shades, so that is still coming. I'm not sure if I'm just gonna film it or if I just want to play around with it. This formula is great for the price. This is $20, and JKissa did such an amazing job with this palette. The shimmers apply really, really nicely. The mattes are smooth and they blend really well. So this is a really nice palette, perfect for summer. Last 4 palettes, 2 are from one brand and 2 from another brand. I tried picking one from each brand just to give it some variety, but I needed to pick both of these palettes in each brand, and because I just couldn't pick one. So the first brand is Juvia's Place, and I picked 2 palettes from that brand, and the first one is the Warrior 3, and this is a pretty new one for me. Here's the packaging. Juvia's Place packaging is really pretty as well. And here is this palette. This is their most colorful palette, I'm pretty sure. And I've used this a few times now, and I love it. This one's really nice, especially for the shades in here. Some of them are really tough because they're super bright, like I mentioned with the Huda palette. And I think they are pretty pigmented for the colors. So I definitely wanted to give this one a shout out. I mean, whew, those are the 2 shimmers. And I mean, look at that matte green. That was one swipe, so that is crazy. So this is one of my favorites from Juvia's Place for the summer. And then the other palette is the Magic palette, and I have the large palette. I don't know if they do a mini palette. I think they do for this, but here is the Magic palette. Like, look how big this is. This is so big, but I mean, it is gorgeous. Look at all of that. This one has a lot more shimmers in it. This one only has 4 mattes. It has the 2 right here and then the 2 over here, and wait, that's a lie. It has 2, 4, 6 mattes. It has those 4 and then this dark one on the bottom and this one over here. And you can create so many looks with this. I mean, you just use one of these 2 in the crease and then just pop on a pink and you've got a pretty neutral pink look. Or you can throw on those mattes or any over here and then throw on a super dark shade and then add one of those colors and you've got a beautiful blue or purple toned look. I think this is really nice for summer. You can do a super subtle look or make it really dramatic if you want to go super colorful for the summer. So this is definitely one of the ones I thought of immediately when I wanted to do this video, so I knew this was going to be included. The last two palettes are the ones that I used on my eyes today, and these are both from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and these are the Riviera palette and then the Carli Bel palette. Carli Bel palette is fairly new to me. I got this during the Sephora sale. Riviera palette, I got this a while ago, but this is actually still available. So is Carli Bel. Carli Bel's on sale, and Riviera is actually at TJ Maxx. So I think it's still at TJ Maxx, but I did not buy it there. So if you have a TJ Maxx near you that's open, they might still have these available, and I think they were $24.99 or maybe $19.99, one of those. But I know this was definitely around there. Here is the inside. I'm trying not to let the brush fall. But this is a gorgeous, colorful palette as well. Almost the whole top row is shimmers except the white, and then the whole bottom row is all mattes. You can definitely do a complete look with this, and I think you can still do a neutral look. I mean, you have this mustard yellow matte shade, and you can put this, see, there goes the brush. You can put the shimmer up here all over your lid, or even the yellow and then the brown, and you can get a pretty neutral look. But then even using either of these pinks and the bronzy shade, I think you can still get a pretty subtle colorful look. But then you throw in the hot pink and then the bright purple and then the bright colorful blue, pink, and purple shimmers, and then you can get a little bit more dramatic with this. So I think this palette definitely gives you a lot of options. So I really like this. I will be using this all summer. I love the packaging as well. It's very nautical, so I think that is also very summer. So that's not the reason I picked it for this video, but I mean, that works too. And then the Carli Bel palette, I think this is a really nice spring palette as well, because they're a little bit lighter shades. They're not as bright, but this is so pretty. I love all of these shimmers in here. It's got a couple pressed glitters at the bottom, and I think I just used the mattes in here for my look today. Oh no, I put the shimmer, the Bowley shimmer, I think that's what it's called, which is this one right here. I put that all over my lid, but I mostly used the Riviera palette. I used a couple of the pink mattes in there as well. But I think this palette is gorgeous. I have heard that it doesn't perform as well, but I mean, I haven't had an issue with it. I haven't used it a ton of times, but even using it a few times, I haven't seen any issues with it. I didn't have any difficulty blending with it. The shimmers are really pretty. I mean, you do get some fallout, but I mean, that's Anastasia's formula. The mattes tend to have a lot of fallout, and I don't really have a problem with that. I go in with a very light hand anyway. So you do have a heavy hand, you have to be really careful with a lot of her palettes, but I wanted to include both of these because I think they're really nice for summer, but this one is a little bit more, this one is a little bit more dramatic, where you can get a lot more subtle looks with this one, but still add that pop of color to your lid that you want for summer. So those are my top 10 eyeshadow palettes for summer. I love all of these palettes. I mean, a couple of them are new, so I'm a little bit cheating, but I still think they're perfect for summer. If you want any type of color on your eyes, I think if you pick any of these eyeshadow palettes, you would definitely achieve that. So I really liked filming this. I love going through my eyeshadow palettes. I do need to pull out eyeshadow palettes just so I can use them because they're all in one drawer. So I do kind of have to sift through them if I'm looking for something specific. So I like doing videos like this where I can go through my entire eyeshadow palette collection and kind of pick ones that I know I want to use during this time. So these are going at the top of my pile for ones I want to use throughout the summer. So I'll actually get more use out of them, which is great. Leave me a comment down below if some of these palettes are also on your list for your favorite summer palettes, or just let me know if there are other palettes you think I would also love. I would love to hear your thoughts. But that completes this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!